Sansemi nyina nya me na meka na bom Godfred Yebo Adame aban lawyer pani a wono eno ye attorney general minister for justice na wode sansemi aye dwonto a ene wo to court dan anim ho ne nsɛm a wɔka nyinaa de ekopie ye ene sɛ nanke ye hwɛ sɛ asɛm a ɛkɔ fa Dr. Atofosin ho no o hwɛ a kyɛ sɛ miscarriage sɛ awo ne yɛtwɛn bosome nkron a anka ba bi adu no yɛnhwɛ na yɛntwa na wo koraa ne sa fi sɛ tapes ahodoɔ bi ne nsɛm ahodoɔ bi a ɛba no esusu sɛ attorney general ahyɛda boapa ne nipa bi aka bomu ayɛ awe jakpa ɛna wo mu ɛhwɛ aka nsɛm de agu Atofosin so sɛ wɔ hyɛda boapa ɛna ma Ghana yɛhwere 2.37 million we kura ye yɛtwam yɛni kura de ben euro ɛna ma o man Ghana hwere abra ne yakwakoto 200 ambulances abra na opani ɛyɛ osofo hwɛ apɔmuden ho nsɛm so sasemi ho nsɛm hwɛ ase Ghana ha no akwɛ twema mentwe we ka ne de ɛtoa na we ka ne de atoa nanso gyase sɛ fiasɛ wa asare botwe ɛdɛdɛ yi ɛde atodwa ahyɛ sɛ legal basis mmra mu no wɔhunu baabi a wobetumi afa na wɔde saa asɛm a sabre Dr. Atofosin ene Jakpa womo Richard Jakpa ka de abomu akyerɛ sɛ bɛyɛ a yɛnhwɛ na womo application mako enan no yɛnsomu no otemuafo Justice Afiasewa asare botwe wato no nyinaa ɛde atoagu sɛ asɛm no yɛnto aso nko yɛnim na bia so mu asɛm foforo bi ka on betumi de akɔkɔt foforo ana sɛ anamonto foforo bi betumi akɔso nemom asɛm a ɛpɛndi wɔ nanim sisi ande ko beto aso ɛnum ɛna Godfred Yebo Adame opie ya ye Awurade me na minie nipa sunsum fidie bebre na nkomo pami ayi me nanso Awurade ayi me afiri ni nyina mu yentie ne dwonto ne nsɛm a ene waka ye ne bi.
You remember you were in court, the judge herself, even after ruling, clarified that she has not given any such order at all. And that is only an advice.
Yes.
And what did you notice afterwards? I'm conducting the matter, I'm still conducting the trial. The most important point today is that all the applications filed by the applicants have been dismissed in their entirety. All the 5 applications have failed. And I think that in reaction to this, I would say that clearly shows there's a group of people in this country who ride on manipulation of facts, distortion, and deception of the public. They're always seeking to mislead and deceive the public. Today they've been exposed. That is what I say. I leave the rest to my friends.
So now that they've been dismissed, all the applications have been dismissed.
Yes.
How do you see this going forward?
Well, today, when I was coming, I had a song in my spirit. Head of that church, triumphant. You know that song? Please. We joyfully adore thee. And then it goes on. Precisely. Continue. Have to play to the radio stations. Head of thy church, triumphant. We joyfully adore thee. And I said to you that they will lay traps, but all the traps I'll flee from them. And indeed, only righteousness will prevail.
Na Fabra, fi said the Nania Geno, ye nim de SCA. One of the was say Nania Japa, if it's some cases are woman file yenina Sabri Yatunina Atwagu, T. One of the Nani Aje. Na enriching a national youth organizer, Emma NPP, Nanabuache, Nanabi. Watch us say. Well, but I been radio way soon, they been TV way so no more cancer, Mahudo Bebre. Was your bit to me, I can't NSA. Richard Jakpa, Attorney General Cobon, a pabia who saw me bomb modern and chatter force and fan and coaching was a yadia, a yet no correct coin bia eso. Not the course so ever caught to her, and in Chimuno Ebino. Ama, you say, but Bansana, Yentie a yet nanabi.
Right, so first you notice that they said that the court should compel the AG to discontinue the prosecution. It was dismissed. They also mentioned about the fact that they filed a motion for mistrial, again was dismissed. And even the court, the judge in court today said that she listened to the tapes 10 times and nowhere on the tape were statements like implicate Atofosin, coaching the accused, No, never. But this is what were being played outside. I mean, people playing to the gallery. The court said that it listened to the tape 10 times and nothing of that sort. There should be a different platform for that. And that is why she suggested that it is General Legal Counsel.
Yeah.
Right? And then she said that because of public interest and how this matter has generated, so much public interest, she will advise. Indeed, if you recall in court, when the Attorney General stood up to speak, she again repeated that advice. That is only an advice, right? So anybody who will come out yesterday that the Attorney General is ordered not to be part of the conduct of this matter is clear falsehood. And I know people will start trying to push that out. She said advice. And I think that she can give that advice, but as to whether that advice should be taken or not, we need to leave that to the Attorney General.
I was here for Nanabi and some more day to ja ebi and no. Meaning say advice ne dear no ever ama details our debe my no emu. But ama obi say oh no na ojina Attorney General Chico as when ya ja o stress. I don't talk about so inside on a joy and a man when ya just ano.
And the one goes inside when I say inside or a ball, big ball ma. Say age tonium, nanyum na mention dante, say a French. Say a brofu, say a tree, and brofu tia menanso.
Okay, Obi actually West no Ede Abai the Mammy say Minya West.
Brofu tia menanso
was it head of thy church triumphant. We joyfully adore thee till that King James Sabro from him in Pekra appear. Thy members here shall sing like those in glory. We lift our hearts and voices with one anticipation, cry loud and give God praises our salvation. I don't know I don't know what to know. Where's a woman been a making can. Like I said, Naniaji. Say and somewhat woman de buy say woman who say a dance be or where say a some cry ye didn't or court and Attorney General Nankasano and watch a chair some no aqua dance for who say we dear dance krumu and think a tape no abanintino ye mass and ye miscarriage no not just and twas or charges and one and yam muscle and not what a more for us say
also 10 times one to she sir nan your tea and say one tea Attorney General Nessa Attorney General catch you Jakpa say be dear dance krum and mammy and now said be woman I'm in fact to force in tomb name come on so tea no Jakpa na dedi kind of no thing near tosum you not say Jakpa na can't seem before else in a letters of credit in name send come out tea sema edunsia na omo ka ho asem ne paade o se otie ni mpem makomaku edu wanti be bia wo mu se Attorney General ka chen se be dia dance kunu wa na emom question ba ko bi se Attorney General ne se na age kura nso ukodi sa nkomo ne ye den e na wutimi kura ka se anka wo kire kwan bi aso onfa so na nka onya krata bi e chese wo yare no se no so kura ko kan sa ye den eno say na media futuo na ema sanke beye yi a asumdue muli no sa case we anka wan kasa no ma afoforo entoaso enima o say ya futuo don't eat some let the other people eat the rest say you go so toaso let them eat the food but you age don't eat
na matter say self futuo eat the food you know one person you DJ Attorney General no NDC for any age.
And I take what the demo okra no information be na mabonten. Oh why no be apro. I say check your phone. Phone you see dey to silent because you impeded it. Obi go for phone na ya twero dey aba say court orders Attorney General not to discontinue the case. I say nyina yet court dem court and order obi a court 2-4 court esono say be court na court be order court ma order order court say me ka kire wo say asem no eni biem eni emprempren ya
ba ko e ba ye e ba me phone so e bi eni breaking news High Court judge in the ambulance case involving Honorable Atoforsen and Mr. Jakpa has strongly advised the Attorney General Godfrey Dame to stay away from the trial on grounds of professional and prosecutorial misconduct. This is after the court declined jurisdiction. Like I say, court no we mu asem no o kire say the jurisdiction no enru ho. Is that it?
Applications and naya ekopie mu wo court no. Na baako a omo hwehwe ene say. Ye investigate Attorney General. Per the tape na ababonti. NDC press conference on boy 16 minutes no. Ye investigate ni wi a court no indetermine say ni AGI no de di kan etiamra. Ni etoso me ni say etiamra de a ena na court make pronouncement on it. No me ehu say AG asem we kura atwon ho firi hu ni biom. Ana say pe enkomo na okobo ye wo tape ni so ni ntinu charges ane e de abo owura Jakpa ene atofo se ni nyina no court no entwam tinton time ena court say ye Ghana ha mra bie ni wa e kire sa ena me court ne nso no me ni tumi say me na me kasa asem. There are other forums
that means ni enye ni jurisdiction like it means ombetumi dia call different
o kire ba bi kura omfa nko
no so ombetumi dia call
General Legal Council wo ho
okay
ono kire say professional misconduct there General Legal Council na betumi akọ ye wie kura ora sami jamfia nkasa kan say otemuafo na kire omkwan wabo General Legal Council o say omkra de enye General Legal Council nko ampo omunim say strategy wo ho omunim say emrahye bedwafiem wo ho okoti some articles kra wonim say sa articles won betimi atrigger ono de ninsusue mu no ombe investigate Attorney General Attorney General MPP abrei su kra na yesi ye nye nhwehwemu mfa na asem ne ho na ye ntwe na so wo ho a wo se bre ne beba the day of reckoning no o se beba eduru wa o se all the avenues ni nyina ededededa wa na ba kwa na bra Kofi nim so obeka ye yete court demon na na momontin se court no a order ne say on step aside ma on continue with the case. Interestingly ebra court ne ma all the four
and they can buy and sign it
eno no Miami Media House bia bibi ntimi modi reporter ne te court demo na media house na publish ekofa asem kesi anka nyame na fafie kabrante na mso nkwa ba disam wonu kwa wedi kan won sa wamansa na asem ne kure ne ye to aso because na de esi ye no enye no na nesi ye wie ya ye bisa ye na ye obi nso ote court dem ho a eno send ma media house ne say mon publish ne esi na media house nso one friend reporter na check eno ko publish ye no
ko be pass mama
na wakofa asema ye pie ye obi ebisa say na bre ye den na publish ye den o se minim ho hwi o ye ko check ye na papa bia ye friend Jamfi na daroma wono ane de koy but ene court dem ho de Sami Jamfi say ya ma lawyer for ne kwan amoma move applications no e ka ho bi na ene as a ruling no anko in their favor but odi kan commend judge ne say no kre ene o hwe de extensive ruling na o de buy na o say 40 pages eno kan almost 2 hours na yet na court dem more said no pan me kan no tena se a you don't go out nobody comes in cause see baby just so de wa mention obeko akoye kra mention sa cause say ye wie ti ye wie but ene yanka ye to aso tape ya ye kan ho asemi and no read Jakpa interesting o se ono a wa ye copies na makoma tre judge ni say oh wo de nka ne lawyer kra mpo nko na omo me copy o se o me mabo me ho na mbai wo de tre ampa no osora kofa pen drive 3 aba baako for the judge baako for AG baako for ora to force and lawyer na court ni say there be ye nim de wo drive ne so enti mu de mo nko file mfamra ene yanka ye to aso na baby wa start ne de wo peso chese sa nkomobo na course no e yade a obegina so aka ho asem tene owura Godwin Tamakula ho na nka ode ne cross examination ne fa owura Jakpa ti adakem na ye betoto na no afa ho ene wage atum se ne odi kan wo court dem se na Attorney General efre no at all time oni ne koshia e wo temuafo bi a oye adwuma wo Supreme Court efie no wage atum se he still stand by it enti yade a se anka ne ye to aso 2 hours kusu ne de cross examination and so court na say tape na e wo drive ni so ye nima de kwede potin ti next date aye be ko ye 11th June ye kwa sa tape na NDC for boy say ye no an ye bebo court them say nye no na foforo bi kan ho a ene yen so ye ba kotie ye version eno ye proper one na court them 11 June
Some media no tape or however one.
tape wo nti ene ma yen komra
Aye, TNA.
my MPM so na sansem kroye mu and a communications officer Edema National Democratic Congress NDC amanyuko lawyer Same Jamfi and obetena court them hobi pa e brought him for efiase wasare botwe echeche ni nsemu e dia check court na ruling mako and 9 wogina so e de bae baako eye menstrua ana ni nyina ene se wo mo pe enquiry wo Attorney General Minister for Justice Godfred Yebu Adami wo mu susu se nkomobo bi e call so e wo no ene owura Richard Jakpa businessman entem entweye ankoye ensene mfatakra enti no mu susu sankaja yenya hwehwemu mapa na court no enyina so emfa ni ruling na se na temu emra na na to so mienu eye injunction na wo mo pe so no pa ese yemfa nto sa asemi so ne to so miensa yen stay proceedings ni nyina ne se bebe ya ka asem na kodu bia no yen twentwen su kosi se enkrata wo me da kopiem e Supreme Court no ebetie ni nyina wie ansana yatoa asem ni die ni so kwadu mako edronu 9 eye sika ewom eye 2.37 million euros ene nipa mienu ye de abom se monkokra ambulance emfa mra manga na mu ha ambulance amode baaye no yemfa ya afo ntum yemfa se bia funu kra entum entima bogana eka 200 ambulance ehun se makoye deja manko mobo bia koso a ene Attorney General ye twe no aboso na bra na Justice Efiase Wasare Botwe edi ruling mako and 9 ebawie yepe ye piesi abonten ena lawyer Same Jamfi NDC communications officer Echema Chensem Jofo said no kreni nyame anim wo di kan abone nsam sure edi ama Justice Efiase Wasare Botwe esanse enne wose ono lawyer Same Jamfi se sukufo tenachi pa na so che sukufo adia anka ruling bi say eno beka che sukufo ne so mmeye esanse we academic exercise ekoyie pa edemano.
The proceedings of today in 3 parts. First is to commend the trial judge for delivering such a detailed, reasoned ruling on these interlocutory applications. As a lawyer myself and a student of the law, I must say that I was impressed. This enriches our jurisprudence and helps students of law to appreciate the law. It helps us to constructively agree and disagree or criticize the judgment. And so to that extent, I think this ruling contributes to the development of the laws of this country, and we commend the trial judge. The second has to do with our disagreements with many of the decisions the trial judge made. Now, you would realize that on the application by lawyers for the first accused, Honorable Atoforsen, for an order of mistrial and an order of inquiry to be made by the trial courts into the issues of prosecutorial misconduct and professional misconduct on the part of the Attorney General, the trial judge played Pontius Pilate by declining jurisdiction. In other words, what the trial court said was that no law confers jurisdiction on the courts. Neither does any rule of practice confer jurisdiction on the courts to make such orders. And therefore, the trial court directed Honorable Atoforsen and the affected parties to seek redress at the appropriate forum, which, in the opinion of the trial court, is the General Legal Counsel. Now, ordinarily, that should have been okay for us, because what that means is that the court has not determined whether or not the Attorney General is guilty of prosecutorial misconduct. Okay, what the court has basically done is to decline jurisdiction and say go to the right forum. But that, for us, raises serious issues of law.
Lawyer Same Jamfi wamanso wa eno se nokre baako a wakapa wo san kan biem ene se wadu temu afo ne wo yaw emfa wo se wabɔ ne nsɛm ama no wakasa wayɛ adeɛ paa baabi a ɔne ne nya dwene a wɔka akyɛ Ghana fo nyinaa ene se otemu afo ne tie tape ne nyinaa wo se wante se Attorney General Minister for Justice Godfred Yebu Adami ka se owura Richard Jakpa wo mra meboa no paa na wonye ne case no na enkontia Atoforsen na o se senya ne senti no call ya dia ena na okwa akotwa aduane na de ama owura Jakpa na ana o se wanya ga ebi okwa akoya line e de ama owura Jakpa na eno de wo se onoti muafo ne ya dwe a enye yi.
The Godfredami himself, whose voice is on it, Mr. Godfredami himself, whose voice is on it, could not swear an affidavit to dispute the tape. He had to shift responsibility to a principal state attorney who was not on the call to make denials. Now the court says, I have listened to you. There are exceptions to the rules of privacy under Article 18.2 and 12.2. Public interest, issues of crime. I am admitting that evidence. That is a heavy blow for Godfredami, who has been trying to escape accountability and has been sponsoring his assigns and hirelings like Nana B and Paul Adomah to be saying in the media that the tape is doctored, it is not admissible and all that. Now that argument has fallen flat. They have X all over their faces. The tape has been admitted, and that is why the judge made copious reference to it in delivering this ruling. And you've seen the line of cross-examination. More tapes are coming up. More tapes are coming up. Then number two, and that is the juice of this matter. That is what makes all of us happy about this matter, is that the trial judge says that it gives great discomfort for an Attorney General and Minister of Justice to be speaking to an accused person when he knows that he's not supposed to be speaking to the accused person in the first place. And to be speaking to an accused person who was a lawyer in the case against the ethics of the profession, including telling the accused person to lie and contrive a medical excuse duty to deceive the court. And the judge says these are serious issues of professional and prosecutorial misconduct, and that the appropriate forum can deal with that. We have taken a cue from that. And we know that the appropriate forum is not only the GLC. The GLC is one. We shall trigger that process at the right time. But we also know of Article 218 and the powers of sh0ck. We know of the powers of Parliament under their powers to censure a minister, and we are going to be triggering all these things. There is no way that this dishonorable, crooked character called Godfredami will get away with these unprofessional conducts and criminal conduct. There is no way.
Lawyer Sami Jemfi wa manso wa eno say court na admit say ye na ye beka say nyina so bi anim wait ahoɔden nim no o say ne de mfa ne ho na ne wo kan say court no kura di kan kira am so wo nko general legal council o say no ye one forum pe wo mo mani tua pa say ne tie bia attorney general and minister for justice Godfred Adame won be ye nhwemu ma papa de afa ne ho na so twe bia na se ne fata no won be trigger esan say Mrashe bedwafie mu wo ho sh0ck e wo ho yoko kura wo ho wo se ne tie bia attorney general e da ne beba obebu akonta fenchem e da Ghana for.
The judge went on to comment on the audio recording of a telephone conversation between Mr. Jakpa and the Attorney General. This is the audio recording we in the NDC put out through a press conference we organized. And the judge, in her ruling, says that she has listened to the tape. And in the tape, the Attorney General doesn't make certain statements, but rather it is Mr. Jakpa who makes those statements about the Attorney General seeking to impress on him to implicate ATAMFO. The judge says that the Attorney General never said that on the tape. The judge also says that the Attorney General never told Mr. Jakpa to help him, and that on the tape, the Attorney General said he didn't need his help. Now, these are matters of fact that we think the trial judge got wrong. The judge was terribly wrong on them. And anybody can go and listen to the tape. Number one, if you listen to that tape, you will hear Godfredami telling Mr. Jakpa that if you agree to this deal, that is on the tape. You will also hear Godfredami telling Mr. Jakpa to testify his way, and that does not create any difficulty for Mr. Jakpa. He says that about 3 times on the tape. You will also hear Mr. Dame saying that if you agree to this, what were they talking about there? They were talking about letters of credit, which is the main issue at stake in this trial. And the entire case of the Attorney General was built on those responses he was soliciting from Mr. Jakpa. very material to the issues for determination in court. And it is clear on the tape that Mr. Dame was seeking the help of Mr. Jakpa. Either than that, why did Mr. Dame call Jakpa in the first place? If he didn't need his help, he called him to give him lunch or dinner or breakfast. Or he called him to do what? He called him for a purpose. And the purpose was to get him to answer questions in a particular way. Is that not him seeking his help? Number one.
Any outi Ora Summit Jenfi Communications Officer Edema NDC Amanyu Continue Adoma 11th June Agrono Ebeye de court them.
I was for a some way in no crata me in Yugoma. Obi TV or Ayena Sumo Munai Brofaka sie and Amanufui Eka. The Asian Nana said Ghana ha a brana at a forcing. And this buying was so mokoto ambulances 200 dB. A whole tonno and you say Ghana a boka 2.37 million euros. Na says cano Ghana boy no na any da hoka and a bonifen is a willfully causing financial loss to the state. It is an idea that the whole could do air bono na ya chile na bakotum. Woman of Finance Ministry, one of the back when the Japan, you did not account for it. As a tintin taking me.
Naba, Namo, or not, or Yarina, yen.
And it's said, the tintin taking and he said, at all forcing, young Fanon Cotum, and I said me and Fanon Cotum, the Oya Yeno, nay, and any da home, and I said any da home, and no crash on my Ghana sh0ck, and when you. Into the Aquabat Tintin, Crawford, Sia, Kanya, would say, ya, what you my okay, it is a say, and this is 4% what you say. One shut that se campo by and shut that so Magana Boca, and you will fully cause a financial loss. Nemum, Attorney General, we are Shada Fachi Jakpa, and also Ministry, what Nabe Council Japa, or the Amedobe Can, who said. Brabedia dancer said, I better go to Prano, because say, and was one penny, and a quay say, and I just say, and I just Jakpa back candy a gunoso. And Jakpa say, Attorney General, me deem como, set me make us assassin. Attorney General said, there be me no Nissan Comobia. And one says, I say, I dance here to him, but I wouldn't need deem como, sir. Now, just a quad not the born on Ancasana, I dream one team, would need one beer, and I will pass a force of the bonation. Into a banner sadia, I said no crying twas. Tintini tetia brofo, tinte can't be briefly, and the Jakpa, one you, brofono. Me and you.